Okay, let's get started on day 6. Day 6 is going to be a little bit different. We're going to race right through all the requirements that we have to do today, one of which is those people who need to resubmit the multiplication table. Please do so today, no later than tomorrow morning at 8:40. I'll have extra copies of these for you to have filled out completely. This will entitle you for a replacement grade on the activity from yesterday. So let's move right along to day 6. Day 6 is such that we are going to be following multiple paths, well, actually 2 different paths. Yesterday we had a test. If you go to that test and you feel that if you receive less than 50, follow along with me. I'm going to do a reteach of some of that activity. And if you scored 75% or greater on that test, I want you to go ahead and get started with the STAR practice test. So there's 2 different paths, either the reteach or the STAR practice, and then we'll get together towards the end of the time where I'm going to introduce something that we're going to be doing heavily in the near future, i.e. tomorrow. So let's go ahead and get started with the reteach. The reteach is such that we are doing least to greatest. Remember, underscore. And let's go ahead and build our timeline. We're going to do least, greatest. And we're going to go from, say, like -7 to, let's go up to 3. So 0 is going to be about here. And we'll have 1, 2, and 3. And of course we'll have the negative numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's 7. So -6, -5, -4, -3, -2, -1. Okay, so once we have that, let's go ahead and fill in our numbers. We have -4 here. We have -7 here. We have we have 3 and 2. And we have -4 and -6. Okay, -6. So if we do that, we can easily go from least to greatest: -7, -6, -4, 2, and 3. That I know you can do. The greatest to least is just going to be the opposite direction, but I still think that the best thing for you to do is label it greatest to least. Put the least over to the left and the greatest over here, and go ahead and get started and do that yourself. And when we come back, I'll show you the answers. And if we have reference numbers, there's be 0 here. So there's our numbers granted out. All right, now let's go ahead and do this. What is it? Least to greatest. And we got some numbers. What's the first thing that we're going to do when we have some numbers that are not decimals? Yeah, that's right. Change them into decimals. So this is -0.50. That's already a decimal. We should already know that this is 0.25. Of course, it's negative. And now it becomes very easy to map all of these on here. Here's where -1/4 would be. 3/3 or a third, essentially. would be here, 0.33, and negative 1/2 be there, and negative 7.1. Well, here's 7, so 7.1 would be real close to that. Negative 0.71, and we have negative 1/4 already. So least to greatest, there we have them. All right, now let's go ahead and have you do the next one. All these are already lined out as far as being decimals, so these should be pretty easy for you to do. 0.4, that's going to be on this side. Negative 3.4, excuse me, negative 0.34. So there's negative 0.3, so 3.4 would be about here. Negative 0.34. Negative 0.7, that's right here. Don't forget the number, this is least, this is the greatest, and negative 0.49, that would be right here. Okay. Back to us doing it again. Least to greatest. Always convert to decimals first. Once we do that, we have negative 0.80. That's already a decimal. That's already a decimal. So that's the only one that's really that hard. So negative 0.80, that's going to be right about here. Negative 0.8. Negative 1.23, that's going to be before this one. And 1.7 would have to be here before this one. So that's where the, oops, scratch that. It's not negative, it's positive. So it's going to be 1, and it's going to be right here, 1.70. And 1.58 would be real close to this number, 1.58. All right, you do this one. Least to greatest. All of them are already marked off. So here's 1, 2.32 would be about here. 2.5, that's off the chart, but it's going to be somewhere around here. And negative 1.64. So it has to be right here. 1.64, and that's of course negative. All right, now let's go on to the practice. Least to greatest, least to greatest, and you should be doing this on your own, so I'm just going to show you the answers. Okay,